The Shadowy Figure. Once upon a time in the small town of Willow Creek, there lived a young boy named Timmy. Timmy was just like any other kid, except for one thing. He had a habit of staying up late into the night, watching the stars shine outside his window. One cold evening, as Timmy lay in bed watching the stars, he noticed something strange. A dark shape seemed to be hiding outside his window, moving silently in the moonlight. At first, Timmy thought it was just a trick of the shadows, but as he stared harder, he realized it was a figure, tall and ominous. Timmy's heart pounded as he hid under the covers, hoping the shape would disappear. But night after night it returned, always lurking just outside his window. Timmy tried to tell his parents, but they dismissed it as his imagination running wild. As the days passed, the figure seemed to grow braver, creeping closer and closer to Timmy's window each night. Timmy felt a chill run down his spine every time he caught a glimpse of its dark shape against the moonlit sky. Even though he was scared, Timmy tried to be brave. He closed his windows all the way and even slept with a nightlight on, but nothing seemed to keep the figure away. It was as if it had attached itself to him, following him wherever he went. Timmy felt a sense of fear moving slowly over him, like a shadow slowly swallowing him whole. He knew he had to find a way to escape the figure's control before it was too late. But with each passing night, the figure seemed to grow stronger, its presence appearing bigger than ever before. Little did Timmy know, the figure had a secret of its own, one that would change his life forever. Each night, the figure outside Timmy's window seemed to grow closer, its presence casting a long shadow over his once peaceful life. Timmy's heart pounded in his chest as he lay awake, listening to the noises and creaking of the old house, knowing that the figure was out there, watching, waiting. During the day, Timmy tried to go about his normal routine, but he couldn't shake the feeling of nervousness that hung over him like a dark cloud. He avoided looking out of his window whenever possible, afraid of what he might see hiding in the shadows. His friends at school noticed a change in him, how he jumped at every little sound and seemed to always be looking over his shoulder. They asked him what was wrong, but Timmy couldn't bring himself to tell them about the figure outside his window. He was afraid they wouldn't believe him, or worse, that they would laugh at him. As the weeks went by, Timmy's fear grew worse. The shadowy figure outside his window seemed to be talking to him, its dark form whispering scary secrets that only he could understand. Timmy's sleep became broken and unpeaceful, filled with bad dreams about the figure reaching out to grab him and take him away into the night. Desperate for relief, Timmy started researching online, trying to find answers to what the figure could be and how to make it go away. But the more he searched, the more confused he became. There were stories of shadowy figures haunting people's dreams and hiding in the corners of their vision. But none of them seemed to match what Timmy was experiencing. With each passing night, Timmy felt like he was losing control, like the figure was slowly closing in on him, ready to strike at any moment. He knew he had to find a way to escape its clutches before it was too late, but he had no idea where to begin. And so, trapped in a never-ending nightmare, Timmy braced himself for the terror that awaited him outside his window. Knowing that the figure was always there, watching, waiting, Timmy felt more and more alone as he tried to deal with the scary thing he saw outside his window. He told his parents again about it, but they didn't believe him and said he was just using his imagination too much. "It's just a stage you're going through, Timmy," they would say, not knowing how scared he was every night. Alone in his fear, Timmy withdrew into himself, avoiding his friends and spending more and more time holed up in his room. He felt like he was trapped in a nightmare, with no one to turn to for help. The figure outside his window seemed to sense Timmy's growing despair, its dark presence looming larger than ever before. It followed him wherever he went, a constant reminder of his helplessness in the face of an unknown threat. Timmy's nights were filled with dread, each one blending into the next in a blur of fear and paranoia. He tried to distract himself with books and games, but nothing could shake the feeling that he was being watched, that the figure outside his window was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As the days turned into weeks, Timmy's fear threatened to consume him whole. He knew he couldn't continue living like this, constantly looking over his shoulder, afraid to even glance out of his window for fear of what he might see hidden in the darkness. But no matter how hard he tried to escape, the figure was always there, a silent sentinel standing guard outside his window. Its presence a constant reminder of Timmy's growing isolation and helplessness. Desperate for relief, Timmy clung to the hope that someone, anyone, would believe him, would understand the terror that had consumed his life. But as the days dragged on, and the figure outside his window showed no signs of relenting, Timmy began to wonder if he would ever find a way to break free from its sinister grip. One dark and stormy night, as Timmy huddled in his bed, trembling with fear, something unexpected happened. The figure outside his window moved closer than ever before, its shadowy form illuminated by flashes of lightning. In that moment of clarity, Timmy saw something that sent a shiver down his spine. The figure wasn't just a random specter or a figment of his imagination. It was a person, a real person, wearing a long coat and a wide-brimmed hat, their face obscured by the darkness. Timmy's mind raced as he tried to make sense of what he was seeing. Who was this mysterious figure, and what did they want with him? He felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through his veins as he realized that the answers to his questions were closer than he ever imagined. Taking a deep breath, Timmy decided what to do. He would go up to the person outside his window, for the last time ever, and ask them why they were scaring him. His hand was shaking as he reached for the curtain and slowly pulled it back. Now he could see the person's face in the faint light. But as Timmy stared into the eyes of the person outside his window, he saw something unexpected. There was no malice or hatred in those eyes, only sadness and longing. It was as if the figure was searching for something that only Timmy could provide. In that moment of clarity, Timmy realized the truth. The figure outside his window wasn't a monster or a demon. It was a lost soul, trapped between worlds, reaching out for help in the only way it knew how. As he walked closer to the figure, his heart beat fast in his chest. His steps sounded loud in the quiet night. But he ignored his fear, knowing he had to face the figure directly if he ever wanted to find peace. "Who are you?" Timmy shouted, his voice shaking. The figure turned around, its face lit up by the soft moonlight. For a moment, everything was quiet, like the figure was thinking about what to say. Finally, it spoke, its voice soft and haunting. "I am a traveler, lost in the darkness," it said, its words carrying a weight of sorrow and regret. "I have been searching for a way home for so long, but I cannot find it, and so I wander, trapped between worlds, longing for a place to belong." Timmy listened intently, his heart going out to the figure standing before him. He could see now that it was not a threat, but a fellow soul in need of compassion and understanding. Filled with determination, Timmy made a decision. He would help the figure find its way home, no matter what it took. With a steady hand, he reached out to the figure, offering it his friendship and support. Together, they embarked on a journey through the darkness, facing obstacles and challenges along the way. But with each step they took, they grew closer to their goal, their bond of friendship growing stronger with each passing moment. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the end of their journey. With a grateful smile, the figure bid Timmy farewell, disappearing into the light with a sense of peace and purpose. Timmy watched the figure fade into the distance. He felt happy and proud of himself. He had conquered his fears and won. This showed him that even a small nice thing can start the coolest journeys. With the mysterious figure finally finding its way home, Timmy felt a sense of relief wash over him. The darkness that had once haunted his nights seemed to lift, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and tranquility. As he returned home, Timmy couldn't help but reflect on the strange journey he had embarked upon. It had been a terrifying ordeal, filled with uncertainty and danger, but it had also been a journey of self-discovery and growth. With a smile on his face, Timmy stepped into his room, ready to put the events of the past behind him. But as he glanced out of his window one last time, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him from the shadows. Was it just his imagination, playing tricks on him once again? Or was there another lost soul out there, searching for a way home, just like the figure he had encountered? As he thought about these questions, Timmy felt a cold feeling run down his spine. Perhaps the journey wasn't over yet, and there were still mysteries waiting to be figured out in the darkness. But for now, Timmy was content to enjoy the warmth of the light, knowing that no matter what the future held, he would face it with courage and determination. And so, as the night faded into dawn, Timmy closed his curtains and drifted off to sleep, ready to face whatever challenges awaited him in the light of a new day.